Hi and welcome back to Koko Sleep, a brand new podcast of original children's bedtime stories designed to make bedtime a dream. If you're enjoying this podcast and enjoy falling asleep to our stories, please feel free to tell your friends, because they might enjoy falling asleep to them too, especially if they're animal lovers. Can you remember all the animals you've met so far? There's Koko the koala, our show's mascot. We've met Lula the cat, Adrenaline the tortoise, Ressi the baby orangutan and his mum Kara, and we can't forget Theodore the monkey. And tonight I'm going to introduce you to someone new. She is a very wise elephant, and you'll meet her as she travels through a forest, giving advice to creatures who need her help. But before we meet our elephant and her forest-dwelling friends, take a little time to snuggle down into your bed and make yourself as comfortable as you can. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Close your eyes and take some lovely deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then snuggle down a little bit more. This is The Wise Elephant by Gillian Rogerson. At the far end of Sleepy Forest, there lived a wise elephant. Whenever a creature needed help, they would seek advice from her, because the wise elephant always knew what to tell them. Such was the case on a warm summer's day, when a robin flew over to the far side of the forest to ask for help. Being very wise, the elephant knew something was troubling the little bird as soon as he alighted on the branch of a pine tree. The robin said, "I love singing, but it's time I gave it up. I keep trying to stop, but then, before I know it, I'm breaking into a song at the top of my voice. Please tell me how to stop doing that." The elephant gave the robin a long look before saying, "I've heard your songs. They're wonderful. Why would you want to stop?" The robin let out a sigh and said, "I have to. I think the other birds laugh at me when I sing. They have beautiful voices, but I don't. I sound terrible. That's why I should stop." "I'm quite sure that the other birds don't laugh at you," the elephant told the robin. "Come with me." The elephant set off walking. The robin flew a little way behind her. When they'd travelled a short distance through the forest, the elephant stopped walking and said, "Be still. Listen to the forest. What can you hear?" The robin settled on a log and answered, "I can hear bees buzzing." The elephant nodded. "What else? Really listen." The robin became very still and listened again. Many sounds drifted towards him. The gentle rustling of leaves as a soft wind blew through the trees. The snuffling of animals as they shuffled through the undergrowth. Crickets cheerfully chirping in the long grass. Water trickling over stones in a nearby stream. The robin smiled at the elephant and said, "It sounds like music coming from all around me. It makes me want to..." He stopped talking. "Sing?" the elephant finished for him. "My little feathered friend, if you feel like singing, then you must sing. Don't let your voice remain silent for a moment longer. The forest is waiting for your song." "Is it?" the robin asked. "It is. the wise elephant confirmed. Go ahead. The robin proudly lifted his head and began to sing. He started off quietly, but when he saw the encouraging look on the elephant's face, his voice grew louder and more confident. When he fell silent, he looked at the elephant and asked, "How did I sound?" "Marvelous, simply marvelous. Never let anyone stop you singing, especially yourself. Never let your songs go unsung." "I won't, thank you." The robin tipped his head in goodbye before taking to the skies. He flew from tree to tree, singing in harmony with the melodies of the forest. The elephant waved her trunk in farewell before walking on her way. She hadn't got very far when a grey squirrel approached her. The elephant asked, "How may I help you?" "My head is full of worries," the squirrel said. "Lots and lots of worries. Shall I tell you what I'm worried about?" The elephant shook her head. "I don't need to know what your worries are, but I can help you to get rid of them. Close your eyes and listen to me." The squirrel closed her eyes. "Imagine your worries are leaves on a tree," the elephant advised. The squirrel opened one eye and said, "There are a lot of worry leaves on my tree." "That's okay. Close your eye. Now, picture each leaf falling gently from the tree as if it were autumn time. Can you picture that?" The squirrel nodded. "Good," the elephant said. "As each leaf falls, see a gentle breeze catching the leaf and taking it far, far away. So far away that it disappears from view. Can you do that? Take your time." The squirrel said she would try. The wise elephant waited patiently until a slow smile spread across the squirrel's face. "My worries have flown away," the squirrel said as she opened her eyes. "All of them. But what will I do if they come back?" "Make your worries as light as airborne leaves and let the wind take them away." The squirrel thanked the elephant before scampering away with a spring in her step. Once more the elephant set off walking. And once more she didn't get very far before she was approached by someone. This time it was a small green frog who sought her assistance. "What can I help you with?" the elephant asked. The frog jumped onto a log and said, "I have a big problem, a very big problem." "Okay, tell me about your big problem." The frog did so. He told the elephant that he didn't like swimming. All his friends and family loved swimming, but he didn't. Not one little bit. He didn't even like getting his feet wet. He gave her a helpless look. "What am I to do? I can't stay at the pond with the other frogs. They keep asking me to go swimming with them, and I keep saying no. I think they're going to ask me to leave the pond and live somewhere else, but where will I go?" The elephant considered the matter. As she did so, she noticed how the frog kept jumping off the log and then
back onto it. Back and forth he went, with a smile on his little green face. Very gently, she scooped the frog up using her trunk. She brought him close to her face so she could look into his eyes. She said, "What do you love doing?" With joy shining like sunbeams in his eyes, the frog answered, "Jumping and leaping and hopping. I just love it. It feels like I'm flying when I'm moving through the air like that. I would do it all day long if I could, but I daren't do it in front of anyone else in case they laugh at me." "Have you told the other frogs how much you love jumping and leaping?" The frog said he hadn't, because he was sure they wouldn't understand. To which the elephant replied that he wouldn't know that until he told them. The frog was silent for a while. Then he said, "Do you think I should tell them?" "You certainly should. And you should do it now. Who knows, maybe some of your friends might feel the same way." The frog tapped his chin thoughtfully. "I hadn't even considered that. You don't know how somebody feels until you ask them," the elephant said. The frog agreed and said he would return to the pond immediately and speak to the other frogs. He leapt from the elephant's trunk and set off into the forest, jumping and hopping so quickly that he really did look as if he were flying. The wise elephant smiled as she watched him go. As the day wore on, more creatures stopped the elephant and asked for her assistance with their problems. The elephant happily gave her wise guidance. Yet there was one animal who was too shy to ask for her help. A monkey had been following the elephant since early morning. He had hidden from sight as he'd listened carefully to the advice given out by the wise elephant. Alas, nothing she said was of use to the monkey in his situation. He wondered if anyone could help him. The sky began to grow dark, and the elephant decided it was time to head home. But there was one more creature who needed her help. She walked over to the tree where the monkey was hiding and said, "Hello there. Won't you come out and talk to me? Won't you tell me why you've been following me?" The monkey gathered as much courage as he could and stepped out from behind the tree. He said quietly, "I'm having trouble sleeping." "I see," the elephant said. "Tell me more." The monkey began to feel a bit braver as he spoke about his sleepless nights and how he worried all day long about not being able to sleep, which only made his problem worse. He finished by saying, "I don't think I'll have a good night's sleep ever again." "You will," the elephant confidently told him. "I will help you to sleep soundly tonight. All you need is a routine. Follow me." The monkey wasn't convinced he would sleep soundly that night or any night, but he followed the wise elephant anyway. The elephant stopped in front of a pride of lions who were lounging on the grass. She called out to them, "Hello, would you mind if my little monkey friend joined in with your evening exercises?" "We don't mind at all," a large lion answered. "We were just about to begin." The lion beckoned the monkey closer. With unsure steps, the monkey went over to the lions. He wasn't sure how exercising would help him sleep, but he was willing to give it a go. The lions stood up and began to slowly and carefully stretch their legs this way and that way. The monkey copied them. Then they gently rolled their necks from side to side. More stretching followed, until every part of the monkey's body felt loose and relaxed. His favourite stretch was standing on his toes and reaching so high that he felt he could touch the sky. The lions finished their routine by giving each other a hug. The monkey wasn't sure about doing that until one of the smaller lions told him everyone needs a hug. Before the monkey knew what was going on, he was hugged gently by one lion after another. A warm feeling flowed over him, and he agreed that everyone did indeed need a hug. The monkey thanked the lions before returning to the elephant, who was waiting a short distance away. He told her, "I enjoyed that, but I don't see how it's going to help me get to sleep." "It will. Let's keep walking. There's something else I'd like you to try." They soon came to a group of happy hippos who were wallowing in the river. The elephant called over to them, "Good evening. Would you mind if my friend joined you?" "Of course not," the nearest hippo answered with a toothy grin. "The water is lovely and warm tonight." He shuffled along to make room for the monkey. The monkey wasn't sure about getting in the water, and he hesitated by the elephant's side. But then he saw how relaxed and content the hippos looked. Was that because of the warm water? Curiosity got the better of him, and the monkey moved towards the river. He carefully lowered himself into the water little by little. The warm water rolled over his body, sending warmth all the way through him. The hippos sent friendly smiles his way, but they didn't say anything. There was a comfortable silence, which made the monkey relax even more. He copied the hippos as they gazed at the darkening sky. The stars were twinkling into view. The monkey thought the stars looked especially beautiful tonight, and the moon appeared bigger. He felt peaceful, warm, and relaxed. After bathing for a little while longer, the hippos climbed out of the water and said good night to the monkey and the elephant. The monkey let out a little yawn as he too climbed out of the river. He told the elephant, "I'm feeling a little tired, but I don't know if I'm tired enough to sleep yet." "That's okay," the elephant replied. "There is one last thing I'd like you to try. I've been saving the best for last. Come with me." They hadn't been walking for long when the elephant stopped at a tree. The monkey recognized it as the tree he'd been sleeping in, or trying to sleep in. Before he could tell the elephant that, the elephant raised her trunk to the lowest branch and said, "Make yourself comfy on that branch. A friend of mine is nearby. I'm going to ask him to call on you." With that, the elephant turned around and walked away. The monkey was confused, but he got onto the branch anyway. He looked up through the leaves above and caught glimpses of the stars and moon. Before he made himself comfy, he stretched his arms and fingers as far up as they would go, just like the lions had taught him. It did feel good to do that. There was a slight noise below him, and the monkey peeped over the branch to see the elephant had returned, and she had someone with her. The elephant said to the monkey, "This is an old friend of mine. He's a mountain gorilla, and he has travelled all over Sleepy Forest and to the lands beyond. He has many tales to tell about his great adventures, and he has countless stories he has picked up along the way. He's going to tell you one of his stories tonight to help you fall asleep." The monkey frowned. "A bedtime story? I'm too old for a bedtime story." With a kind smile, the elephant said, "No one is too old for a bedtime story. Are you comfy on your branch?" The monkey nodded, but he wasn't convinced a story would help him fall asleep. Below him, the mountain gorilla leaned casually against the tree trunk and thought about which story would be best for the little monkey. One came easily to his mind. The gorilla began speaking in a low, deep voice. Let me tell you the tale of the brave little monkey who travelled 1,000 miles over land and sea in search of hidden treasure. Despite his best efforts, the brave monkey never found the treasure, but he found something much more valuable. The gorilla's words intrigued the monkey. Perhaps he would like a bedtime story after all. The gorilla proceeded with his tale. He spoke about the brave monkey preparing for his quest, and how he had to board a 200-year-old ship which was bound for a mysterious land. With each word, the gorilla's voice grew more soothing and hypnotic. Like a warm blanket, the gorilla's words wrapped themselves around the monkey above him. And it wasn't long before the monkey drifted into a peaceful slumber which lasted all night. Even though the gorilla knew the monkey had fallen asleep, he kept going with his story because there was someone else who needed to rest. He could tell by the tired look on the wise elephant's face that she'd been busy helping others all day. And now someone needed to help her. With his voice as low as distant thunder, the gorilla continued his tale. He noticed the elephant yawning and slowly settling herself on the grass. By the time the gorilla had finished his story, the wise elephant of Sleepy Forest was fast asleep.